Good morning. This is Mona, and this is my morning view. Today, summer edition 2025. It is August 15th. My summer is coming to an end in 2 weeks, and then I go back to work. So, yes, my day job. I will still continue doing my morning view. It won't be this late because I will have already been at work, but my morning views have been a little off schedule during the summer because I was just taking it kind of easy for myself. And sometimes God calls you to rest. And so this morning I can't feel too bad about sleeping in. I normally do not sleep in, and I slept in this morning hard. Had some weird dreams, and I don't know, maybe they were some type of cleansing dream that was happening. So, yeah, there's all sorts of dreams, but we're not going to talk about today, because today we're going to talk about Fiesty Friday. Fiesty Friday. So I was thinking about some of the things that I've covered this week, and, I was talking about how bad things happen to good people, and it's not always God being judgmental and trying to teach you a lesson or trying to chastise you. Yes, sometimes that happens. Sometimes God is trying to teach you something in the process. He doesn't bring it on. He allows it to come in so that, you'll learn something from it. But not all of it is like that. Not all of it is that. It's just life, right? And then I was thinking of yesterday when I was talking about all our heart, all our soul, all our mind, all our strength, that God wants us all encompassing. Oh my Lord. So I turned on my live. I had some kind of a chainsaw sound that direction, and now I have the tractor sound on that direction. So hopefully it is not too annoying for you. I don't have my hearing aids in, because what will happen, I haven't been putting them in for these, because what happens, even though it brings so much better clarity to my voice, it also picks up every single noise even louder than my voice. And so what happens is you guys end up hearing that. You hear all the noise. So I think it's noisy for me, but it's not noisy for you without my hearing aids. I have to stop touching my nose because YouTube doesn't like that. But it's itchy. All right. So today, I kind of want to go back into the idea of in Deuteronomy, when it talked about when you're going out, write it on your doorpost and on your gates. And so when you're going out and when you're coming in, there's that acknowledging that we are to have our whole heart, our whole mind, our whole soul, our whole strength toward the Lord. I was thinking about how I was watching a Zoom this morning. I wasn't on the Zoom itself. I was in the overflow room on Zoom. It's when you're not, live where they can see that you're there, but you're there. You're in the overflow room, and God sees you in the overflow room, even though they don't see you there. But I was on this Zoom, and the person made an error. It was a really funny error, and he caught his error really quickly and just started laughing. He's a professional. He makes a lot of money. Like he's over a 6-figure person. He might even be an over 7-figure person. And he made a faux pas. Silly comment. and realized his mistake immediately and had to correct himself. It's not the first time I've heard that same error. It has to do with the wool. That's where cotton comes from. No. And he was like, no. He became very silly. Very, he knew he messed up. I just stepped in doggy poo. Even though I cleaned it up, I missed one little spot. Ah! My goodness. This is the real R-E-A-L, not the R-E-E-L. So anyways, I gotta walk this stuff off in the grass. So what I was thinking about when that happened is like how everybody just automatically is in a forgiving mode. It's like, oh yeah, he made an error. That's funny. Ha ha. And even if he had not caught his error, people would have given him grace. Because, well, he's the instructor that everybody's paying to come see, right? He's the guy that is popular. He's the guy that everybody wants to hear from. And so what happens is we as people tend to give grace to those people lantern flies. We tend to give grace to those people who have some kind of status, whether it's in the church or whether it's in business or whether it's in something outside of the church that still is in the religious format, some teacher, some evangelist, some trainer of some kind, some speaker, and we give grace to them even when they make an error. But we don't extend that same grace to those people that aren't really seen outside of the public. The ones that are like, oh, they're really a nobody, and they're saying stuff, and, they made an error, so they obviously don't know what they're talking about. I make a lot of errors here, just letting you know. And it's not because I don't know, it's because my brain is, my mouth is working faster than my brain, I guess, or my brain is working faster than my mouth, and so something comes out, and I say Proverbs instead of Psalms, or Psalms instead of Proverbs, things like that. We make these errors, and people are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You say something because the whole thought isn't calculated and seen in its entirety, and people get a snippet of the thought. It's kind of like when people don't like people that are in politics. They'll take a snippet of what somebody has said, and then they make a whole narrative about it. So what happens is the noise. I'll have to wear my Grinch suit for that one. The noise is very distracting, and that's what triggers my brain to go off into something else. That's the one thing that triggers me more than anything on getting distracted. And so it's difficult for me in this healing of the brain process to be able to talk while there's distracting noise going on. So we're going to try to get through this. This is part of the REAL. I've had many distractions this week. You will not find out about them, but they were happening live, and I kept my composure. But the noise, it stops my ability to think of what I'm going to say next. And And that's where it gets a little tricky here. Because I'm live. And in that live, and now the noise on that side is starting again. The chainsaw. Stepped into poopy again. Where was I at? I was talking about how people will judge people because they're not the popular one. Which goes back to my thought this week, yesterday, Thirsty Thinking Thursday. It's like, what side do I go on? The side of the chainsaw or the side of the tractor? Right now the tractor has stopped, so I'm going to walk over this way. Try to get away from the noise as much as possible. This used to be a very quiet place. It is no longer a quiet place. Okay, so, if I can get through the noise. Do other people, do professionals have this, distraction issue where, they have chainsaws and tractors and people playing loud music and wood splitting and, do they have those distractions when they're talking? They probably don't. They probably would be distracted, but probably not as distracted as me. So thank you, Patty, for holding out with me because, okay, it got silent again for a second. So maybe we can get through this. So, it is Fiesty Friday. The day that I can offend and even offend myself. The day that I can complain, and that's my complaint right now. So, okay. Talking about how we treat others. I know there's somewhere in the Bible. I know it is, where you don't give this person a better seat because they're wealthy or popular or famous, and you don't give this person a bad seat because they're nobody and they kind of smell like, alcohol or trash, back in the back seat type of thing. Or maybe in the overflow room. I was talking about the overflow room today, right? Oh, you are not good enough to be here, redheaded stepchild. You're going to be back in the back in the overflow room. And not just the overflow room, but the overflow of the overflow room. And we treat people like that. Even in the church. And I've seen it. I've seen it lots of times. Aren't we so holy? We're acknowledging those important people. Those wealthy people. Those popular people. The good-looking people. And I would say to you, you need to check your heart at the door. Remember the going in and the going out? Post it on your doorsteps, on your doorposts. Post it at your gates. That you are to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, all your strength. I'm saying all four, even though different verses say it differently. But we're going to cover them all. Because when we are checking ourselves at the door, when we go in or when we go out, checking our heart at the door, that innermost being, the conscious, are you truly exempling Jesus? Are you shining His light? Or are you just shining your own? Are you shining His light, or are you just shining your own? We need to go and check our heart at the door. We need to check our mind at the door. Remember, the mind is the intellect. Our reasoning for wanting to give that grace ticket to those who might bring your status up a little. All right? Maybe if you are on this person's side, you'll be seen. We are not to be seen by man. It is not that important that we're seen by man. It's whether we're seen by God. And that's why I said, I don't know if I said it here, but I said it in a comment. I said, God sees us even when we're in the overflow room. God sees us even when we're in the overflow room. So you may not be acknowledged by the to-do people that want to uplift those that are already uplifted. God sees us, and that's what is important. So the next time you think about lifting up and giving grace to those people that maybe make mistakes, and it's like, ha ha, isn't that funny? That's funny. Or making mistakes, and it's like, oh, you don't really know what you're talking about. You just made a mistake. When you have those types of thoughts, you may need to check your heart at the door. You may need to check your mind at the door. You may need to check your soul at the door. I don't think the strength part is that important in this scenario. But it could be. It could be because strength has to do with what service can you bring? Your talents, your skills. What can you bring? What can you bring to that individual that you want to throw in the overflow room? What is it that you can bring to service to others? The least of these. But you're so worried about whether, you're going to be seen by the one that has already gotten there. The one that's made it. Now, I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about the people. It's not about the popular people. The popular people that they've already made it. They've made a mark on their life. They wrote the book. They go around doing speeches. They have, made millions. All those things. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about the people that feel like they're beneath that, but want to rise to that status. See, the problem is we are not beneath any human being. We are beneath God. We are not beneath any human being. I don't care whether they make millions of dollars. I have sat in rooms, I have gone to dinner with people who have made millions of dollars. Kind, wonderful people of God. And they didn't act any more holy or any more rich than I was. They just being themselves. They were just being themselves. And a lot of times these people can see through those that are trying to grovel. Those who are trying to schmooze. Those who are trying to make an impression. And when that happens, you don't get uplifted like you thought you were. Maybe those that think that they're below you are thinking that. And so they're thinking, oh, you were seen with this person. You must be somebody. I want to go rub shoulders with you because you're somebody. We got to check our heart at the door, people. When we go out of that house, we got to realize that we only have to be ourselves and love the Lord with all our heart, all our soul, all our strength, and all our heart. I think I said them all. Heart, mind, soul, strength. That's what we need to check at the door. I'm walking out and I'm going to do this. Keep my mind on the Lord. Keep my heart on the Lord. Keep my strength on the Lord. Keep my soul checked with the Lord. I'm going to walk out of this house And I'm not going to go out to impress anybody other than my Savior. And you know what? I don't even have to impress him because he knows. He knows when I'm faking it. Or do you think you don't fake it? You walk out the door and you fake it because you're just not feeling it today? We have those days. We have those days. But if we check ourselves at the door going out, we don't have to fake it. But we have to keep mindful of our actions, our speech, the way we live. If you missed yesterday's, go back and watch yesterday's on YouTube, because this is what I was talking about. Just today it's a little bit feisty. It's about how you check your heart at the door when you go out. And by the way, you're to check your heart on the way in. When you get in with your family, how do you treat your family? Do you come in acting all superior? Do you come in acting like you got a point to make? Because maybe you don't feel superior? How do you treat your family? How do you live life inside your house? So today I encourage you, even though it's a Feisty Friday and it's all about offense, I'm encouraging you to do this. On the chosen, when they walk out of a house or walk in the house, they kiss the door, kiss their hand, put it on the doorpost. That is a symbolization of Deuteronomy 6. That is the symbolization of to check it at the doorpost. Write it on the doorpost. Write it on the gates. You might not actually write it, but if you symbolically think about it when you're walking out of your door, symbolically thinking about it, walking out the door, you don't actually have to do that. Okay, you don't. You don't even have to touch the doorpost. If you symbolically do it in your mind, every time you walk out the door, every time you walk out the gate, every time you walk in, when you do that, you'll be reminding yourself, because that's what it was for. It was a reminder for us to remember that the Lord our God is one, and he is to be sought after with all our heart, all our mind, all our soul, all our strength, the whole gamut, all of us, all of it, all in. Don't just tip your toe in it, but all of it, all in. Are we going to serve the Lord? Are we going to do this or what? And when we sit there and want to judge others, when we want to exalt those that are wonderful, and we want to put down those that are not, we are not living like Christ. We are not exemplifying his light. They just fell a tree and it went thud. Thud! The noise! So, what I'm talking about today is we don't treat people differently because of their status. What is it for you by doing that? What is it that you gain? What is it that you lose if you're seen with the overflow room? Check your hearts at the door. All right, so if you didn't catch Thursdays, it's on YouTube. You can watch it on fast speed. So go to YouTube, Mona E. Harrison. Go there, subscribe, like, share, comment. Get all the bells and whistles, notifications. Do it all. Watch it on fast speed while you're doing dishes, while you're doing chores, while you're doing hobbies, while you're resting. You don't have to stand there and watch my beautiful face if you don't want to, but you can. I'm okay with it. And if you want to watch it on regular speed, that's fine too. You probably especially want to fast forward through those times when I was dealing with the noise and distractions, because that really slows the video down. This video will be uploaded either tonight or tomorrow. So in the meantime, go ahead and go back, watch some of the ones that you missed on YouTube, and I will see you on Monday, where we're continuing the series of the Lord's Prayer, and I believe it is about forgiveness, so you're not going to want to miss that one. All right. Thank you, Patty, for watching. Thank you, Lynn. I know you just popped on. You can watch videos on YouTube, Mona E. Harrison. This video will be uploaded either tonight or tomorrow, and you can go back and you can watch that. All right. So thank you, Patty. Thank you, Lynn. And I will see you on Monday. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day. And hopefully, come Monday, there won't be any chainsaws. There won't be any loud trucks, dump trucks. Oh, there will be the garbage truck and tractors. All right. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day.